Hey guys, and welcome to In the Air with Jay and Tay. Today our guest speaker is the one and only Kendall Jones. Our topic for today is going to be the conspiracy theory of the moon landing.
Moon landing hoax.
Yes. So, did we go to the moon on July 20th, 1969, or not?
I think we need some background knowledge first.
Yes.
We are trying... We were in a space race with Russia to see who could get a man on the moon first. Kim Jones, do you think we put a man on the moon?
Depends. It really depends, on what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling when I wake up in the mornings. Because sometimes I'm like, Neil Armstrong is a human, and other times I'm like, he's not.
I think it's a good thing to add in that the Soviet Union sent the first, shuttle to the moon with non-humans, with animals in it.
Yeah.
But we supposedly got humans there first.
Yeah.
And also, fun fact I think we should put in, well, Kendall's talking about Neil Armstrong not being human.
Right?
His name, Neil A, spelled backwards, alien.
Alien!
Yes.
He said, let's take one small step for man and one giant step for mankind.
It's not even the right quote.
That's what Neil Armstrong said when he was on the moon. Am I wrong?
What does that have to... But was he on the moon?
Was he on the moon?
Okay, so
That's what the real topic is.
let's go back into that topic.
Okay. So I think one of the biggest ways that people point out that the moon landing is a hoax is by one of the most famous pictures of them next to the flag, right? So if you look at that picture, the flag looks rippled, like it's waving in the wind. But if it's in space, there's be no wind. So why does it look like that?
So the question is, was it in the film and they were just too lazy to go back and edit it?
But also, where are the stars? There aren't
no
any stars in the
There are
picture
not
either.
any
And
stars.
we can't see stars from the Earth sometimes just because it's cloudy or whatever. But there aren't clouds.
Now, to be fair, it wouldn't be actual stars in the sky. I don't think it'd be
But
balls
they'd
of
be
fire or
right.
something.
Yeah.
But
still, they'd be there.
yeah, it's not just a blank space.
Yeah, I mean, stars don't only exist right above the Earth.
Right. Another thing was at the time that they apparently got there, it was either dusk or dawn. It was one of the two. And at that time, the surface of the moon, because of the sun's rays, would have been 200 degrees plus, because it fluctuates a lot depending on if it's in the light or not. So wouldn't the film have burnt up because it's plastic?
The film. Let's talk about the film.
The film.
It's missing. You're right. NASA does not have the original moon landing film.
That's not something you just throw away.
Exactly. I've said this once, and I'm going to say it again. You don't just put up original moon landing tapes in a box and lose them while you're moving.
Yeah.
That's just not what happens.
They either taped over it or they lost it. How do you tape over the moon landing?
Also, why did they only have one copy of it? You think once you got that, you would make multiple copies in case something ever happened with it.
Exactly.
So why was there only one copy?
And then their next thing about that is, even if they had it, they wouldn't have the technology to play those anymore.
Somebody out
What do
there
you mean?
has the technology to play that.
It sounds like they didn't want us to watch it.
Right. But why? Why did they not want us to watch it? So, while researching for this, researching for this, me and Jordan were looking at this website, and she found a video clip of one of the astronauts starting to fall backwards, and he kind of stops before he falls, where his butt is 2 inches from the ground.
But
he's
where he's
still
not able
sitting.
to catch himself, but he didn't fall.
Right. So, what caught him? Well, in other pictures you can see they have these cable-looking things coming out of the top of their heads. So if they were on set, then it would make sense that they're holding them up. So it looks like they're leaping and bounding.
There's no gravity.
Yeah. So that was interesting to me to see that.
And And the footprints. A lot of people talk about the footprints, and they say it's not possible on the moon.
Yes, because it would, most of the time, to make a footprint in something, there has to be enough, like, water or moisture in the soil or whatever it is to make footprints, but there should be no water on the moon.
No.
So that's very interesting as well. And there was also the rock prop that we saw.
Oh, with the sea carved into
Yes.
it. There's a rock on the moon, or a picture of it. It had a sea carved into it, which people think is like a prop that they lettered to know
Where to put it.
where to put it.
Because that happens often in films, is that they'll number or letter both the spot and the prop so that you can figure out where it goes. So the rock supposedly has a C on it. But I did see another picture of it where it was like the zoomed out version and the C wasn't there. And they claimed that it could have been like a hair follicle, but in space, that's a little
Yeah.
concerning.
While we're like, I think we should reach here, and I found while we were researching for this cameraman. He was 81 years old, and he claimed that he recorded the fake moon landing, and now he's dead.
Yes. Did you find out the cause of his death? by
I
the way?
couldn't find that.
Wait, Neil Armstrong?
No.
No, or the
No, the
cameraman. Okay, the
cameraman.
cameraman.
No,
But he was like a famous Hollywood cameraman, so like it
So,
makes
like,
sense. He
yeah.
was notorious for being good.
Yeah. Another thing that like people bring up is the Van Allen radiation belt.
Yes.
And
It's supposed to kill him.
yes, like they don't believe
That
that
if you leave
that
it-
yes.
That you will die.
It's a zone of energetic charged particles. And astronauts aren't gonna
Be able to go
survive that. And I mean it makes sense. It looks pretty big.
And the people who believe in the moon landing say, well, it would take a few days before they die. We are not going to risk putting someone in space even if it takes a few days before they die. Like, it has to have
Right.
some kind of effects on them for being there just like a day or something.
Right. They were only on the surface of the moon for like 2.5 hours,
It's-
approximately.
But it
2.5
still has
hours.
to have some kind of effect on them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, I did see another picture because a lot of the things that I read were saying people were wondering why we weren't able to like see in pictures footprints still there in other pictures, because since then China has also been to the moon, but they didn't go to the exact same spot. So, but people were still wondering where they were. NASA did like publish a photo from like a telescope or one of the rovers that they sent up there that did show that there were still footprints and like the tracks from their, I think they call it a moon buggy that they sent up with them, and like the flag still sitting in the moon. But my thing about the footprints was they were very close together, and from what I've seen of like the footage or heard, they were kind of leaping and jumping. It wasn't like their footprints were really close
Like
together.
not a
So
normal
that-
walk.
Right, so that intrigued me why the prints were so close.
Also, like the rocks that were said to have been brought down from the moon are identical to rocks from Antarctica. So I mean,
And nobody ever goes down to Antarctica, so
exactly.
I just want to put it out there. I think at this time in 2019, we could have definitely been to the moon by now.
yeah.
Yes.
But I think the first moon landing was fake.
But also you have to think that all 6 of like America's moon landings were during the Nixon administration.
Right.
Yeah.
Like no other president has
And we
tried
haven't
to
gone
send
back
someone
since.
else to the moon.
Yeah, we haven't gone back
Yeah.
since. NASA did say in one of the things that I said that they have been planning to go back. But if we're so much more technologically advanced, do you think we would go back more often now than we
Yeah.
did
Exactly.
then? So where's
I think it's important to know that around 20% of Americans think that the moon landing's fake.
right?
Yeah.
And 30% of Russians
Yeah.
think that the moon landing is fake.
That was probably Russia being like, well, they beat us to the moon.
I do have a question. When Russia went to the moon, was it still? Or was it under somebody else?
Putin went to the moon. Yeah, I mean,
Russia's taking over the United States, so can't Russia just count it as a win for them?
Another conspiracy theory: America is fake, and Russia, we're just a branch of Russia.
Okay, I think that's where we should wrap it up. That we're just a branch of Russia.
Yes.
So
And
Yeah.
Russia actually went to the moon first with humans, and ours was fake.
So in the next 2 weeks, because this is when we have to turn it in, we can talk about like the Mandela effect or Tupac's in Cuba
Right.
or anything. So tweet at us.
Or Donald Trump and all the Trump family, or time travelers.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Birds are fake.
That
Let
one.
us know what you
Birds
want to
are
hear.
fake.
Yeah, what you guys want to hear? Holler at 'em. I'm just a special guest, but like I'm here often.
All right, thank you guys, and
That was a wink.
come back for our next podcast.
Bye.